Taking a look at today's equity index futures markets, let's check in on the NASDAQ 100 futures today as they're realizing some continued upside momentum today. We are seeing the NASDAQ futures now pushing up to new all-time highs. Intraday high of 13,638.5, currently around the 13,600 level. And with today's price action, we are seeing most of the major equity index futures markets now pushing to new all-time highs. I want to point out that when you look at some of the factors playing into the reason I think we're seeing this momentum persist today, a couple of things. Now, we did have the unemployment report this morning, and that was probably a little bit disappointing. It met the expectations, but certainly wasn't a very strong number overall. But it was enough, I think, to maintain the idea that it's going to continue to keep pressure on the Fed. It's going to continue to keep pressure on Congress to again, push through some of these stimulus measures. And that, I think, is the driving factor here, is we are seeing the stimulus measures what appear to be in a fast-track type of mode. And so the market, I think, is expecting this to come to fruition here in the next week or two and be at the top end of that $1.9 trillion level. And I think that's really a big driver why we're seeing this upward momentum persist this week. Couple that with you're seeing a shifting of some of the leadership within the tech sector. Today, really, it was a software area that had some strong gains. We did see some of the major names take a little bit of a breather today, but software seemed to pick up the trend, and that's another reason why I think we're seeing these NASDAQ futures higher today. Now, when you look at the general trends, we are seeing most of these major equity index futures markets, as I mentioned, going to new all-time highs. We saw the S&P close at all-time highs today, the NASDAQ futures up at all-time highs, the Russell futures as well, as they've had a real strong run here in the last month or two. Now, the Dow is the only laggard currently of the Dow futures. I don't believe we're able to attain a new all-time high, although they're just off of that all-time high. But nonetheless, when you look at most of the major equity index futures markets, that continued momentum throughout the week persisted today as we are seeing them closing near or at all-time highs.